Have you ever felt that gut instinct screaming at you? Something isn't right? That someone is watching, waiting, planning? Well, what if I told you a man once faced down 3 strangers who tried to take everything from him, his home, his peace, and worst of all, his child? But this wasn't just any father. This was a man trained for war. A man who had stared death in the face more times than he could count. And when they came for his daughter, they didn't know who they were messing with. So, where are you watching from? If you think they got exactly what they deserved, drop a comment below. And don't forget to subscribe, because this is a story you won't want to miss. Now, let me tell you what really happened. It started like any other day in the quiet town of Willow Hollow. Tree-lined streets, friendly neighbors, and a sense of safety most people only dream about. For Jason Mercer, it was the kind of place he dreamed of raising his daughter, Lily, after losing her mother 2 years ago. A former Navy SEAL, Jason had traded combat boots for work-from-home cybersecurity gigs. Also, he could be there when Lily stepped off the school bus each afternoon. He loved those moments. The way she'd burst through the front door, arms full of rocks, dinosaur facts, and questions that made him smile even on the hardest days. Dad, did you know T-Rex could bite through steel? Did you know Velociraptor was the size of a turkey? That innocence, that joy, it was everything to him. But one Thursday morning, that peace shattered. Jason noticed a black Suburban idling outside his house. It wasn't the first time he'd seen it. But this time, someone snapped photos of his porch. Lily looked up from her breakfast. Dad, why are they taking pictures of our house? He gave her shoulder a reassuring squeeze. I don't know, sweetheart, but I'm going to find out. Days earlier, their neighbor Mrs. Langley had come knocking, holding a letter that claimed she was in violation of some new HOA rules. The fine? $300. Except Willow Hollow didn't have an HOA. Jason examined the letter closely. Something was off, too clean, too official. His cybersecurity instincts kicked in. The email address was generic. The phone number led to Las Vegas, and the website? Registered just 2 weeks ago. He checked online. No record of any HOA. His SEAL training whispered the same thing. This was a scam. Within hours, he discovered others had received similar letters. Fines for trampolines, garden gnomes, even koi ponds. Each family targeted differently, but always with the same goal. Fear. Fear of authority. Fear of consequences. Fear of being alone. Then came the men, 3 of them in cheap suits, standing on Mrs. Langley's porch. One held a binder filled with forged documents. Another kept glancing toward Jason's house. Jason approached. There is no HOA here, he said, stepping between them and his home. Leave now. The leader, a man named Edward Dawson, smiled. Mr. Mercer, we're here about several violations. As a single parent, there are additional regulations regarding child welfare. Jason's eyes narrowed. They knew about Lily. They were threatening his daughter. I suggest you leave, he said, voice low, before this becomes a police matter. Dawson's smile faded. We'll be back tomorrow, with the proper authorities. That night, Jason activated what he called his war room, a secure setup in his basement where he ran digital investigations. He dug deep into these men. What he found chilled him to the bone. These weren't just scammers. They were part of a nationwide operation. Fake HOAs, intimidation tactics, for sales, and worse. They targeted military families, single parents, elderly homeowners, anyone vulnerable. And Lily? She was marked as a priority target. Jason didn't panic. He prepared. He installed hidden cameras, motion sensors, pressure plates, every tool he had used during his SEAL days. He created false trails, left bait packages, and staged scenarios to lure them in. He even planted a mannequin in Lily's bed, dressed in her favorite pajamas, all while keeping Lily safe with her aunt. Because this wasn't just about protecting his home anymore. This was about justice. It happened late one night. At 2:15 a.m., his perimeter alert went off. He watched in the shadows as the black Suburban rolled up. 3 figures emerged. Dawson, Marcus Reed, Tyler Watts. They broke in, took the bait, went upstairs, right into the trap. Jason waited until they reached Lily's room. Then he struck. In under 30 seconds, it was over. Marcus' elbow shattered. Tyler's knee twisted backward. Dawson's kneecap exploded beneath a precise strike. 3 grown men, incapacitated, on the floor, whimpering. Felix arrived minutes later, along with Jim and Pete, 2 fellow veterans who lived nearby. They secured the scene. Every angle captured on camera. Every word recorded, including Dawson's confession. We were supposed to take the girl. Jason crouched beside him. You know what happens to child predators in prison? Dawson's face turned pale. You can crawl to the station, Jason said coldly. Or I call 911 and tell them 3 armed men broke in to kidnap my daughter. Silence. Then, slowly, painfully, they crawled. 6 blocks. Bloody knees dragging across asphalt. Neighbors gathered. Some cheered. Some filmed. Some just watched in silence. By the time they reached the station, they were broken men. The fallout was swift. Federal agents swarmed the case. Dawson, Marcus, and Tyler were sentenced to decades behind bars. Benedict Griffith, the mastermind, arrested at the Canadian border with millions in crypto and a fake passport. His empire crumbled overnight. Griffith's laptop revealed plans for dozens of neighborhoods, all targeted using the same playbook. Fake HOAs, harassment, kidnapping threats. Everything fell apart the moment they crossed Jason. Today, life in Willow Hollow has returned to normal. The neighborhood formed a real community group. Not an HOA, but a network of neighbors looking out for one another. Lily still collects rocks. Still talks about dinosaurs. Still asks questions that make Jason laugh. She doesn't know the full truth, and maybe she never will. But she knows one thing. Nobody messes with her family. Moral lesson asterisk. When evil knocks on your door, courage must answer. Protect your family. Trust your instincts. And never let fear decide your fate. Asterisk, asterisk. Where did you watch this from? If you think they got exactly what they deserved, drop a comment below. And don't forget to subscribe, because stories like this deserve to be heard. Stay safe out there, because sometimes the biggest threats come dressed in suits, and sometimes they crawl away